Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna try to do like a podcast kind of thing, mostly because I'm too lazy to film anything. So I just like to talk, and I feel bad if I talk and there's nothing interesting going on. So I'll try to insert pictures or time lapses of something so it is at least somewhat interesting. Anyways, um, if you don't follow me on Instagram, you're probably like confused as to why I'm even making a video like this in the first place. If you can't tell, I'm into BL or Yaoi. I just find it really interesting to read. I could just make a whole video about that, but I made reviews of some of my favorites and asked if anyone wanted to hear the reviews, and some people said yes, so I'm just gonna post this here for anyone to listen to, I guess. So insert picture of this first review. I made it in September 5th of 2023, which is crazy because now it's 2025. So it's basically been like a year and a few months. I'll insert like pictures of some art of this work that I'll be talking about Here and There and Us. Okay, honestly, my reviews are pretty bad. Like, I just write things to remember more than like analyzing things, because I guess like me in 2023 wasn't using my brain. Anyways, so the main character kind of switches. It switches perspectives. So the first character is Sonoki, and insert a picture of him here, and then Majima. This review or whatever is probably not spoiler free, so if you eventually want to read this, probably don't listen to what I'm saying. But anyways, I gave this a 5-star review because I just didn't want to do 10 stars. That's too much work. 5 stars. This is definitely one of my favorite series. This is one of my favorite authors as well, Fanat. I love their work so bad. I love this author so much at the point, like, I kind of want to gatekeep this, but at the same time, you know what? YOLO, I'll just tell everyone, I guess. This isn't my favorite work by them, though. My favorite work by them, I did not write a review for because it's just in my heart. I even bought merch. Like, I buy merch of things that I love a lot, so that's how you know. I went out of my way to find merch of a very obscure series because I loved it so much. Anyways, like, I would say this is one of their more tamer works because, like, their other works are more crazy, but not, like, crazy bad, just, like, not something people usually read, I guess. Because in my eyes, there's, like, the normal stuff and then, like, the freaky stuff, but everyone has different opinions. Okay, anyways, I'm just gonna read the review and then go through, like, what I said, because, you know, I have different opinions after a year and a few months. So, okay, here, I'll start. Anyways, I absolutely adore this author. Their art style is unique and their plots are so enjoyable. Specifically in this one, I like Sonoki's quirkiness. It's nice to see someone who overthinks and indulges in their interests. He seriously loves music and books. It's entertaining. Their characters have so much depth. Totally relate to Sonoki. It's unimaginable. At first, he had a bad impression on Majima. He felt bad for being wrong, but I enjoy how the author encapsulates relatable things. It just makes the story 100 times better. I hated when things became awkward, however, it made a lot of sense. Sonoki can't change overnight, and it led to character development. The outcome was great and more worth it. It was satisfying. Maybe that's what Inks does. Majima is also relatable. His conflicts with Sonoki were comedic at times and really depressing too. The sequel made my money worth every penny because I was talking about how I paid a subscription just to read these. And there's a sequel, so seeing how things progress was amazing. I enjoyed the ordinary, like how ordinary it is. It's a simple story that makes a lot of sense. As long as the Nat made it, I'll love it. Their plots are so genius. Majima's backstory is heart-throbbing. I don't think I used the right word here, but that's okay. His father died in a car accident. Then someone made fun of that, so he almost killed him. Majima held a lot of hate in his heart, but that same exact person apologized to him years later, and he didn't know how to cope with that. It's hard to hate someone for that long and then try to get over it, which is why I love this author. 100 out of 10, amazing. Or amazeballs is what I said. Okay, if you can't tell, I'm bad at writing, first of all. Second of all, I'm a lot better at talking, I think. So, I'll elaborate on some things that I said, because I just also ran out of space, I think, because I wanted to keep things at one page, and there's just too much to write about considering how long the first book was, and then like there's 2 books in the sequel, and I read all of it multiple times. Okay, so first off, what I mean by like how it's unique and their plots are enjoyable, I feel like a lot of the time BL is more centered about the romance, like, oh, I'm super in love with this guy, like I'm gonna do this and that for him. But in this story, it's more so like you see the characters for who they are, like you just get to see them in their natural habitats or whatever, and it's nice. Like it's nice to see a character who just loves reading or listening to the radio. Like Sonoki just is also really into the things he likes, which is something I relate to. Like when I'm into something, I'm really into it. Like I'll buy all the merch, I'll do this. But his is like another level. Like he had a planner and he wrote down like something every day, like, and he would put out the times for like when the radio played this, or like scheduled programs so he could go watch it or do it. And I thought that was so cute. Like, when have you ever read a BL where a character was kind of like that? Like, I feel like this is the only one that I've seen or read, and I've read a lot, by the way, where a character is like that, and I was just like, wow, it's a character that is relatable to me. Like, I can relate to this guy. So yeah, like, I guess most BL, which obviously it is boys love, so of course they're gonna focus on the love part. And also they just don't really have time to showcase characters like to that extent, I guess, or maybe their characters aren't just like that, and that's fine. But to me, I was just so blown away by that, which is why I write about it. And I find it funny how Sonoki at first didn't like Majima because of the way like he thought of Majima. Like in his head, he separates people by like popularity, so he's just like, oh, I'm not popular at all, so I don't want to talk to the popular people because they're probably mean and this and that. And turns out Majima's not like that at all, and Majima's like super sweet, and I was just like, wow, like that's so funny, because Sonoki becomes friends with him. And yeah, there's the part that I hated was when things got awkward. I mentioned that, and I meant because like Sonoki and Majima kind of get busy like with their lives because they're high schoolers and they're about to graduate. So Majima is stressed out about this because he's like, oh, is Sonoki just ignoring me? Because Majima realizes that he's like in love with Sonoki, but Sonoki's just kind of cares about the things he cares about. Like he does care. Oh my god, my freaking recording thing stopped. He does care about Majima. It's just that he was more like focused on school in this. And they graduate and they literally stop talking, so that's when it was like awkward, and it was so sad. Like Majima knows his feelings, and he like goes to his friends to talk about it, and he cries. That hurt my heart so badly, because like damn, and he just never got to talk to Sonoki until in the sequel years later. He gets a letter from Sonoki like confessing his feelings, and that was so shocking. Just like, wow, he really wrote a letter about that. It was also just really surprising because Majima's the kind of character to take action in things, while Sonoki's more like he's content in where he's at in life, or just for the things he's doing. So it was like, whoa, like wow, Sonoki actually did something. And it's shown that Sonoki was writing the letter just to, because he also had to return something to Majima, because one of the friends, like, because there's other characters, and I wanted to also mention how, like, the other characters in the series are also really enjoyable, I guess, if that's the way to say it. I just love all of the characters. I just love the Nat's writing. I just love everything. So this is literally just me just talking about how much I love it. So, yeah, the characters are just all great, in my opinion. They're all really funny. They all kind of help each other out, that kind of feel. But while Sonoki was writing that letter, he was like not gonna go through with it, but then he was thinking about Majima, which I'm like, damn, because like the letter was sent like maybe a year or two after they graduated, or maybe even longer than that actually. And Majima like had 2 girlfriends, but they didn't work out because the girlfriends like broke up with him for the same reason. Like they all felt like he just didn't love them like that, I guess. Because in Majima's head, he still had feelings for Sonoki, but obviously, like, you know, they just gotta move on with their lives. And when he got that letter from Sonoki, he was just like, bro, what? Because he still had feelings for Sonoki, and he was just like, hello? Like, what? I'd be shocked too. And to his surprise, obviously, it was like a confession letter, like, oh, I feel like things were awkward in high school because I liked you, and I didn't know that, because there's so many like small moments that happen that are just so beautiful in my opinion. For one, Sonoki like assumes that Majima's dating this friend, and Sonoki like felt something about it. Like he was like, why am I feeling jealous? Like, is it because he has a girlfriend and I don't, or like what? And obviously to the readers it's like, oh, he's obviously jealous because he doesn't want Majima dating someone else. But at the same time, like, obviously Sonoki doesn't know, like, he doesn't have every answer in his life, and that's something I like as well. I mean, that's also like common in anything, I feel like, but it's nice to see really when you just don't have the answer to everything. You're just kind of lost, because that's just life. Like, you're just lost at sometimes. And that's what I think I meant by the relatability. Like, it's relatable. Sometimes you just don't know, and you find out years later. So yeah, that's like Sonoki realizing, oh, the feelings I had for Majima were love, and I just gotta tell him. So yeah, he was thinking of Majima when he sent the letter, because like Majima had the initiative to do things and Sonoki didn't, and he was just like, okay, what would Majima do? He'd just go for it and send the letter. So yeah, he sent the letter, and he felt kind of regretful. Like, he's just like, oh, that's so embarrassing, like, cringe. Like, how's Majima gonna react? And obviously he reacted very well. I'm so thankful for the sequel, because like where it ended was the awkwardness. Like, they just stopped talking. They stopped talking, and that was like the end. And then, because the sequel is called Here and There and Us and After, because it's after. Hopefully talking about this kind of stuff helps me like talk better, because I feel like I'm lacking in some aspects. Like, I say something and then I don't really elaborate, and then I just move on. So maybe this will help me make more sense when I talk. A part of me wants to talk about my favorite The Nat work, but at the same time it's kind of problematic, so I'm probably not gonna talk about it. And also because it's my favorite, like literally probably my number 2 BL or Yaoi or whatever. And I know it's not pronounced Yaoi, it's Yaoi, but you know, I'm too lazy to say it like that. I'm sorry. I don't want anyone to like be like, hey, it's not Yaoi, it's pronounced Yaoi. I know. And anyways, like the awkwardness, it made sense. Like, you know, Sonoki's just like that. And as a reader though, you're probably, well, I was thinking like, damn, like I just wish things would work out. All they need to do is like talk about their feelings, but obviously that's a lot easier said than done. And that's why I said, as much as I hated it, it made a lot of sense. He literally just can't change overnight. Like, he just, I don't know, he was like subconsciously avoiding Majima because of how he felt subconsciously. But yeah, I thought it was really cute how they like got closer too, because like Majima wanted to be friends, and he would just see Sonoki around, and then they got close, and I was just like, wow, that's pretty sweet. Anyways, in the sequel, you know, they get together basically, and I was like, it was so satisfying. I seriously love it so much. It was so worth it, because it was like, oh damn, like they didn't really end off in great terms. Like, they were super close, and then now they're not, just because of things like life, I guess. There isn't really like one main reason, just, you know, Sonoki just kind of avoided him. And I was so happy to see them like back together, because I feel like they complement each other very well. Majima's kind of, he's obviously like outgoing and all this. He's like somewhat the opposite of Sonoki. So yeah, they suit each other in a sense. I'll elaborate about his like father dying. Obviously it was like super traumatic for Majima, and it was pretty sad because he like lost a lot of weight because he was depressed about his father dying. Like, his father was pretty close with him, and now like the weight of, taking care of the family is on Majima now, because it was Majima, his mom, his sister, and his dad, and then now his dad's dead, so they have like money troubles and whatnot. And the guy, his like friend, his best friend at the time, made like a comment like, oh, something about like you being skinny now. It was just like kind of fucked up, like, oh, because your dad died, like he probably, I don't remember what he said, but it related to him, the fact that he lost weight and his father and being popular or something. And obviously Majima was mad because he's like, what the like, why the fuck did you say that? And before he knew it, like the guy was on the ground and like he couldn't move his pinky anymore, and Majima just felt a lot of hate for this guy. And I was just like, wow, that's crazy stuff, because there's a scene where Majima sees this guy and he's walking with Sonoki, and he like grabbed like Sonoki's wrist and they ran, and Sonoki was like left bruised, and Majima felt really, really bad because he was just like, oh my god, like, do you see me as like a horrible person now? Like, I'm sorry. And eventually he like opened up about what happened, because like Sonoki was like kind of confused, but he doesn't hate Majima or whatever. And it was just like a vulnerable moment, and that's why I'm saying like the characters have depth. Like there's reasons for everything they do. I mean, when I say that, like there's some characters that are just very shallow in my opinion. Like they have really nothing to them. They're just in love with their love interest, and that's about it. And it's kind of boring. I mean, it's like a decent read, but it's just not like, oh, this is my favorite, if that makes any sense. Anyways, fast forward, and that person apologizes to Majima. He's like, I'm sorry for what I said. Like, it's like, it was really messed up. And yeah, I think that's when Majima like opened up about it, because like, what do you do? Like, he went his whole life, like that happened in like elementary school, and now they're high schoolers about to graduate. He went his whole life hating this person, and all of a sudden the person apologizes, and so like, what's there to hate anymore? Kind of. I was just like, wow, that's pretty crazy to include in a story, but it's just life, So that was like the last thing I wrote, and I do think their plots are really good. I just love how they flesh out the characters, and I don't know, it's just such a like, it's a good read. I recommend reading it, even though I've already spoiled it. I also really love the art a lot. Like, their art style is so unique in my opinion. Like, I don't really see anything like it. And there's like the generic like BL yaoi style. I feel like now a lot of new work kind of has similar-ish art styles, which is not bad in my opinion, but it makes me appreciate like the unique styles more, if that makes any sense. Well, that's all I wanted to talk about for now. Thank you for listening if you did listen, and if you're lost, I'm sorry. I just talk a lot, and I'll probably make more of these. I just love talking, even though it's like incoherent at times. I still really love the series a lot, and thank you for listening.